So this is Microsoft's latest crowning achievement, the Surface Book. Microsoft has dubbed this the ultimate laptop with futuristic looking hardware, gorgeous display, 13.5-inch screen, pixel sense technology. It's truly something to look at. It definitely looks like a laptop from the future. The outer shell is made up of aluminium, and the screen compartment is actually made out of magnesium. So these high-end space-age metals are used in the overall look and feel and design of the Surface Book. And as you can see, Microsoft has spent as much R&D on the aesthetics and the externals as well as the internals as well. Lovely slim form factor and really incredible design. So in addition to the multiple USB 3.0 ports, an SD card reader, and a keyboard that can rival that of its closest competitor being the MacBook Pro 13-inch. The screen has something called pixel sense technology, and that what it is just a technology that can detect up to 1024 levels of pressure when you use your Surface Pen. And I will be doing a series of videos. One of them will be looking at that pixel sense technology in a bit more detail and showing you how well the pen writes on a screen such as this. This is packed with 3000 times 2000 pixels, and that's 267 pixels per inch. Its closest competitor, the MacBook Pro, the 13-inch version, has 2560 times 1600 pixels, or 232 pixels per inch. The Surface Book definitely outperforms Apple when it comes to the screen resolution. So I have been playing around with this device for a couple of days, and there are two small cons with it that I know will be improved as time goes on. One is the battery life. Not totally impressed by it. It is pretty good. What I will do is actually measure the time for like constant video playback and versus normal use and whatnot, including a lot of Wi-Fi usage, and I will actually just compare those figures to some of the competing products to see where it fares. But that's one small con, and I'm not surprised, right? I mean, because you have to power such a beautiful screen, as well as all those powerful internal processors and even the GPU itself. So the battery life could be improved a bit more. And then apparently there's some more software updates that Microsoft has to still bring for this. So I can't wait for those. Other than that, this is a marvelous piece of technology. So the tablet and keyboard, when together in the laptop configuration, it does feel very sturdy when it's in your lap. I must admit, it does feel like a real laptop, and it really is a real laptop. And you don't get that issue where I think in the early Surface tablet models, the Surface RT, there was an issue with there was the piece between the tablet and the keyboard wasn't rigid, so the unit would flop. But this is very, very rigid, very, very sturdy, and it works very well in my lap. One thing that I must really take my hats to Microsoft for is the fact that they didn't just put a lot of R&D into the internals. They've done a lot of work on the aesthetics and look and feel, and the physical attributes of the device. One of the things I must admit, you can pick it up from the screen and shake it around. It's sturdy. You can shake it, nothing falls apart. It's a well-designed piece of machinery. Now, the tablet and keyboard together weigh about 1.6 pounds. Now, with other competing models where you have a tablet and keyboard, a lot of the competitors have everything jammed inside the tablet, and as a result, it would normally feel top-heavy, where the tablet is heavy and the keyboard just feels like a piece of flimsy plastic. With the Surface Book, however, you don't get that issue. Both the tablet and the keyboard have a similar weight to them. so it's more of an even distribution of weight, and because of that, it does really feel like a homogeneous system, a complete laptop. You would not really remember the fact that this can actually detach and be a tablet. So when you want it to be a real laptop, it is a real laptop, and when you want it to be a real tablet, it can be a real tablet. The touchpad actually has a glass surface to it, so it's smooth to the touch. Now, the pen that's used with the Surface Book is identical to that which is on the Surface Pro 4. And so again, you have the magnetic strip along the back with a button at the front of the strip, which is a mouse button. You have a removable tip. You have your little hook here that can hook into your pocket, and then the button at the top, it's rubbery like an eraser, and if you press it once, it will actually summon the OneNote app, and then if you hold it down, it will actually summon Cortana, and then if you just do a double click, it will take a screenshot. Now, just in case I forgot to mention, the aspect ratio is 3:2, and the screen is a 13.5-inch screen. Now, one of the features of the Surface Book, which differentiates it from any other laptop on the market today, is something called the dynamic fulcrum hinge, and that's this little thing right here. What's really cool about it is that its design, it actually makes the tablet and keyboard seem like a complete unit. In other words, like a laptop. And that's one neat thing as well. Now, this gap, one of the things I was worried about was the fact that, in my bag I have a lot of lint, and over time there's going to be a lot of dust, but I have been using this a lot so far over the past couple days, and I actually have put it in my bag with all my lint and stuff, and for some strange reason there's no noticeable lint or any dust on the screen, which is really cool. But other than that, I really like this fulcrum. Now, one of the advantages of having this gap too as well is the fact that if you notice, the gap goes all the way to the point here, and because of that, there's no way that the buttons on the keyboard can actually touch the tablet. And so because of that, then you won't get key marks actually on the screen itself. Now, the fact that there's a gap between the keyboard and the tablet, if you notice, that gap extends all the way to the front of the keyboard. And what's good about that is that the keys from the keyboard don't touch the screen at all. So with some laptops where you have like complete connection between the tablet, or the screen I should say, and the keyboard, over time you would actually see an imprint of the keys on the screen. So you won't get that with this because of this gap. Now, the dynamic fulcrum hinge, I've been, as I said, over the last couple of days, been opening it and closing it, opening it and closing it, and I can tell that whatever technology you've put into this thing, it's actually designed to be opened and closed pretty much tons and tons and tons of time, and you will never get a degradation in that hinge. It will always keep the tablet at the specified angle that you want it at. Now, because there's a lot of technology packed inside the tablet does have a little bit of weight to it. I mean, I know that the weight has been distributed because there is the tablet and the keyboard do weigh around the same, or it feels that way. But because the tablet does have some weight to it, the dynamic fulcrum hinge is designed to hold that weight, right? So even if I try to tip it back, it's just going to fall forward, right? As well, because the weight is well distributed. So there are two ways that you can detach the tablet from the keyboard. Now, the first way is there's a soft key on the lower right hand side of the screen, and it looks like a little screen and a little keyboard. You just press that once, then you hear that click, and it says ready to detach. So you just lift it out and it comes right out. Now, there is like an electromechanical, like a servo mechanism in here that actually detaches this. So you have to be careful that you wait to hear that click first before you detach it. And then as you can see here, we have like the two ports here. These are the two clamp areas that connect the tablet to the keyboard and keep it locked in place. So what to do to connect it back, you just, there's a little magnet that pulls it in, and it automatically attaches, so you don't have to apply any pressure because there's a magnet that pulls it in, clips it in place, and you saw that little tap sign come up. So let's do it one more time. You press the soft key, ready to detach. You pull it up. You might have to hold down the keyboard so you can pull it up because there's a magnet that is also keeping it attached, and it came off like that. And then to put it back in, keep my hand on the keyboard, and it's attached. So here's the second way that you can attach your tablet from your keyboard. So there's a little button right here it's like a little icon with a screen with an arrow pointing up on it and a little keyboard. You press that once, you hear the same crunching sound, ready to detach, and then you just disconnect it. So rule of thumb, when you have your $2,000 or $3,000 plus Surface Book, do not attempt to manually try to rip the tablet away from the keyboard, because that could damage it and you will end up crying. So there are 4 configurations that you can use this in. So this is the first configuration, your basic keyboard layout, right? You have your keyboard attached to your screen and your screen is facing you. The second way is I can detach the screen, I can move the keyboard, and I have a plain tablet, and I can use my tablet and my stylus. So that's the second configuration. Third configuration requires me to have my tablet attached to my keyboard, but I'm going to put it on backwards. Hear that sound? It's connected, and I can turn it around like this, and now we have what you call presentation mode, where I can actually run a presentation on the screen here with the audience watching the screen, and I can manipulate the presentation from my keyboard here. So that's your the third configuration. And then of course our fourth configuration is we have that lovely Surface Pen. Why not just close this all the way down like that? Now we have a Surface Book. I guess that's why they call it that, because now you can, you know, write on it, and you have your keyboard attached, and you can take it up like a book, and you can use your stylus and use your OneNote application, and you can just write on it. Now, isn't that cool or what? Thanks to our new Surface Pen's magnetic feature, you no longer have to worry about losing your expensive accessory. You can just click it to the side of your tablet, or in this case, the side of your Surface Book. So this is, I guess, call this part 1 in a series of reviews I'm going to be doing on this Surface Book. Some of my other videos will be showing, you know, how to establish like wireless connectivity between this and your TV. More in-depth review of like the, you know, the processing power. Actually run some applications on it, run some games, and really see how well this gorgeous 3000 by 2000 pixel screen really performs. And then, as I said earlier, I will be, you know, testing out the battery life on this by doing, you know, implementing a couple of use cases and whatnot. Okay. Oh, so one other quick thing. So on the side here, you can see we have some USB ports. They're all USB 3 ports. We have an SD card reader here, so you can, you know, put your SD card in that slot. Along the top, we have a power button. We have volume rocker keys. Of course, our front-facing camera, and then over here we have, you know, our power port, and then our, you know, high definition video output port. And then here, of course, we have our good old-fashioned 3.5mm jack. And you see how often I just pick this up and everything stays in place, nothing wobbles. You know, it's designed to be used. right? It doesn't look like a device, and it's expensive. It looks expensive, and it is expensive. And hey, it's on the Windows platform, so it can run all those lovely Windows apps. Right, so that's it for this review. Stay tuned for more stuff coming from me on this. So you guys have a great evening. Okay, bye. Thanks.